Hello, everybody. Just wanted to welcome you to probably our most sophisticated or complicated cooking with Denoy episode ever. Okay. In this episode, we're going to attempt to make some pork, some red curry. Okay, some red curry pork or pork red curry, Thai pork red curry. And there's a lot of ingredients here for this. And I was able to cook it because, as you can see, I'm not in the van. I'm actually currently in a hotel at Fort Pierce. I'm at the Three Palms. They got me a nice room here. Um, doesn't have a kitchen, but it does have this nice countertop. Does have a bathroom here. I've shut the door here. For those of you who were freaking out the last time I cooked with the in the kitchen. But here we are with the counter, and I'm choosing the spot because of the plug there. Okay, the first thing we're going to make for our meal is the rice. You can see I have a little bit more rice than normal. Okay, the reason for that is I'm planning on making enough rice to last for like today and tomorrow. So I'm going to have rice tonight and tomorrow. Now, I don't know if you recall when I was cooking in the van, I didn't rinse out the rice, but because water was scarce. Okay, but since we have plenty of water here in the hotel, I'm going to go ahead and rinse the rice out. And I basically have about a cup and a half of rice in there. And I kind of eyeball it. I think I have a little bit too much water here, so I'm going to pour a little bit out. Okay, that looks about good to me. Maybe just a little bit more. And there's my rice with the water. So the first thing I'm going to do, let me double check. I think I need to add just a little bit more water to that, because I have more rice than normal. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the rice to cook. Okay, so I've got the rice cooker. I'm just simply going to plug it in. And I'm cooking plain white rice. It's on low right now. See the low? I'll flip it to high. Okay, so the rice is cooking right now. And what we're going to do is just put the lid on it and let that rice cook. In this rice cooker, it should take about 15 minutes or so. Now, while that rice is cooking, this is what I'm going to do. You can see here I bought some pork today from Walmart. I got it for $2.79 for 2 pieces of butterfly chops. Not bad, okay? We're probably going to use all of this piece right here, and I'm going to save that piece for another day. I'm just going to make pork chops. But I'm going to use this piece right here today for my red curry pork, okay? Instead of using pork, you can also use chicken. You can also use beef, or if you're a vegetarian, you can skip the meat altogether. Now I'm simply going to slice this pork up into little strips. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the pork first. And I'll show you that in a later step. And the ingredients you're going to need in addition to the pork, okay, for the curry itself, is you're going to need some vegetables. In this case, I bought the Great Value Sugar Snap Pea Stir Fry. You can use whichever vegetables you like, but I like this one because it's got like peppers. It's got the bell peppers in it. It also has like the water chestnuts. It has some basically Asian stuff. Now you can use fresh stuff, which is better, but in my case, because I'm trying to save time and I can't really save this stuff, I want to use a little bit of this and save the rest in the freezer. I need to eat it within a few days. This is what I got, okay? Then, to really bring out the flavor of the curry, you use bamboo shoots. Okay, in this case, I bought a small can of sliced bamboo shoots. I think this was a little bit about like 80 or 90 cents at Walmart. This bag of frozen veggies was about $2, and you can see the chops were $2.79. This is kind of an expensive meal for me, but it's something I haven't had in like 6 or 7 months or more. So for me, this is an extra special treat. The other ingredient that's super important is this red curry. Okay, in this case, it's from Thai Kitchen. This bottle costs about $3 or $4. And what we're going to do is use a little bit of it, like 1 spoonful of it. It's very, very hot. They have red curry paste, and they also have, I think, green curry paste. But I don't like the green as much as I like the red, so this is what I'm going with. And then the other important ingredient is coconut milk. Okay, you don't have to get Thai Kitchen. You can get some other brand. But I'm using Thai coconut milk. And I'm going to attempt to make enough only for like 1 person, for like 2 days. And that's why we're only going with this. Normally when I make this dish, I make like a lot in a big pot, and then what I do is I actually freeze extras. Like I take it into a container or a bag that doesn't leak, and I put the servings in there and freeze it solid and eat it at a later date just by microwaving it or putting it on the stove to heat it up. In my case, because we're at a hotel, like right now we do have a refrigerator freezer here and even a microwave. I can freeze stuff and I can keep things cold, but I'm only going to be here for another 3 or 4 days. The company typically puts me into a hotel for about 5 days. This is my second day here at this hotel. You can see it's a really nice room, kind of big, but doesn't have a kitchen, which is kind of bad, but it does have a microwave, it does have a refrigerator, so I can at least put some food in here and save myself. See, you can see I've got eggs in here, I've got orange juice, and of course, things for salad and sandwiches. I even have some frozen food in here. This is all going to be eaten within 3 days, so hopefully I don't have to buy any more food for the next couple days. This is supposed to get me through. It's not a lot, but I don't eat a lot, just mostly dinner here. Okay, anyhow, back to our dish. The rice is currently cooking, okay? And I'm going to chop up the pork, and then I'll show you what I do with that. All right, as you can see, I've cut up the pork into thin slices here. This might actually be more meat than we need, but oh well, I'm going to eat a lot of meat tonight. This is only one of those butterfly pork slices. The other one I put back into the freezer to use another day. Now, what I'm planning on doing is flavoring this using the Badia. Remember our magical Badia? All I'm going to do is just sprinkle it on here and use that to flavor this meat, okay? And what I will do, sorry here, I'll work the camera and do this. What I'm going to do is just wait for this rice cooker to cook, because I didn't bring in both rice cookers, although I should have. But the rice is almost done. I'm going to let this rice cooker finish cooking the rice, take the rice off the stove, the cooker top, and then I'm going to put some oil here into my second pot. See that second empty pot there? I'm going to pour some oil in there. Then I'm going to fry up my pork so that it's fully cooked. Now, I'm also going to add probably, I might add some chopped onions. I have onions left from the other day. Remember, we had onions we used for our Thai fried rice and stuff, and the ramen noodles. So I'm going to cut this up, use a little bit of onions in there, some oil, and then throw in the pork chops and make sure it's fully cooked. Once that's fully cooked, I am going to add the coconut milk, okay? That's what gives it a really good flavor. Then I'm going to throw in some bamboo shoots. Then I'm going to throw in the vegetables, the frozen vegetables. And I might even toss in some onions just to give it some extra zing, okay? And you're going to bring that up to boil, let it cook. Then I'm going to add a little bit of fish sauce. I'll show you as we do this. And a little bit of sugar. My sugar here. And that's what it... And I don't know if I said it, that we add the Thai. Yeah, we add the like a spoon or so of this Thai red curry. Now, mind you, I'm telling you, this stuff is super hot. So if you're not really into that much spiciness, you might want to use less than I use. I use quite a bit because I love hot. Thai people think that food isn't really good unless your nose is running and you're sweating like crazy while you're eating it. So, that's what I do when I flavor the food. It gets like super, super spicy. So we'll go ahead and wait for the rice cooker to finish cooking. Then we're going to go ahead and start cooking the pork and get everything going. Alrighty, just wanted to show you that the rice is now cooked. It's been about 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes. The rice is finished cooking, so I removed that pot out of the rice cooker. I put a new one in. What I'm going to do is add just a little bit of oil here. This is olive oil, but you can use any type of oil. I'm just trying to be a little bit healthy. I'm like semi-healthy, So I'm going to put in this oil here. Don't need a lot, just a little bit to coat it. And spread it out here. Just spread it all on the bottom, because we're trying to keep the pork from sticking to it. Okay, so I coat at the bottom of that with the olive oil. Now I can't do this single-handedly, so I'm going to pause this for a moment and put the sliced pork in there. But before I do that, I think I'm going to season it a little bit. I'm going to add some chopped onions. You don't need to use chopped onions. You can use fresh onions if you want, and I do have some fresh onions, but I don't feel like cutting little pieces, dicing it, so I'm gonna put in a little bit of chopped onions here just for flavoring. Bring out the flavor of the meat here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add this the chopped pork. So let's do that now. You can see I've thrown in the chopped pork, and I'm gonna go add a little bit more badia just for seasoning. I want this meat to taste pretty good. You know, I mean, this is how I would cook the pork if I was making fried rice or lo mein. But now, see how the heat, the temperature is on medium? We're gonna set it on high. So essentially, we're using this rice cooker as if it were a stove, and the meat's going to kind of fry up. But to help cook it even faster, we're gonna put the lid on it and just let it fry. And then I'm gonna take my little, I don't know what that's called. Is that a spatula? I don't know. We're gonna stir that up. You can see I put the dish in there just to rinse it off because I'm gonna try to clean things as I go along so I don't have a big mess out here. But we're gonna cook up the meat. After we finish cooking up the meat, we're gonna add all these other ingredients. Okay, so stay tuned. Alrighty, I don't know if you can hear the sizzling right here. I just opened it up to stir it up, okay? Because you want the meat to be fully cooked. You want to eat raw pork and get sick. So when you open up the lid, it tends to go back into warm mode, so put it back into high mode to cook. Trying to get this here. Okay, it's on high mode to cook here. So I'm going to shut the lid and let it cook a little bit more until I'm sure the pork is done. You can tell when pork's done because it turns white. Okay, it turns from the pink to white. And you can even let it brown a little bit, but you don't need to. I mean, we're going to let it boil and stuff in there. So I'm going to let this cook a little bit more. I'm just putting the red part here to the heating element so it can fully cook. I'm going to let that meat cook. And I'm going to put the lid on it just to help it out. So we're going to put the lid on here. And let the pork, make sure it's on high. Make sure it's on high and let it cook. You can see I cut a little bit of sliced onions here that we're going to be throwing into our dish. And here, I've opened up the bamboo shoots. This is bamboo shoots here. This is a 5-ounce serving here. I poured all the water out. You know, the bamboo shoots had water in it. I've also cut open our coconut milk. Notice this is coconut milk and not coconut juice. We're going to be pouring that in a moment. And I brought out our frozen veggies. We also have our curry, Thai curry, which I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. See that? This is red curry, very, very hot, spicy. And of course we got the fish sauce, the sugar, and the rice is still waiting. All the other stuff I've been kind of cleaning up a little bit, trying to keep things somewhat clean as we cook. So we're essentially just waiting right now for the pork to cook. Quite an involved dish, but oh, the flavor, the taste is so incredible, especially if you like spicy stuff. Okay, it's been a few more minutes, and the pork is pretty much done, as you can see. This is how I typically cook the pork, to either use it for something like this, the Thai red curry, pork red curry, or when I'm making lo mein or fried rice. Now, if you look in here, that's actually quite a lot of pork. Normally, you wouldn't need that much. Like, this is actually enough to make 2 or 3 dishes, but because I have to eat it within a day or two, I'm putting extra pork. You can use pork, you can use chicken, you can use beef, or you can skip the meat if you are a vegetarian and do not wish to put meat in there. So I'm going to leave it in there with all its sauces, and this is where it gets like really good, okay? The pork is pretty much cooked. You can see it's all white. We can eat this pork right now, but I'm going to use it in my dish. Now, you can see I have fat in here. Some people like to trim the fat. Me, I love fat, so I leave it in there. So, the pork is done. Still on high, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and toss in now various things. I'm going to put in my bamboo shoots. Just hope I don't have too much here, because, you know, I'm trying to get everything in there. Okay, we have the bamboo shoots. Now I'm going to add my coconut milk. Doesn't really matter what order you do this. coconut milk makes stuff not sizzle anymore. And we still have it on high heat right here cooking. And then I'm going to toss in these onions, chopped onions that I put in there. Okay. And now we're going to add the frozen veggies. So hang on just a moment. I'm going to open up the bag of veggies and put that in there. Alright, I'm going to try to add this without spilling. It's kind of hard to do it one-handed. So you can see I'm just pouring everything in here. Right? I'm going to put a little bit more. I'm going to do it, let me add it with both hands here so I don't make a big mess. Alrighty, I have put in about 1/4 to 1/3 of the bag of the frozen vegetables. I'm going to mix it up here. Okay, I probably put in a little bit too much. You can see, well, you should have the liquid all over everything. Then that starts to look really good. Now what remains to be added is we need to scoop up some of this red curry, which I'm going to try to do here. I wish I had a smaller spoon. I don't have a small spoon, so I'm going to take this. See how much I use here? I'm going to put it in. And see how it starts to turn like a pretty red? I'm going to spread this out here. Ideally, when you do this, the sauce should be kind of an orangish color. A little bit orange. You want to make sure you get all that curry mixed up. I'm going to rinse this clean here before putting it into the curry because I want more curry. I like my curry, my red curry, really hot. Not so hot you can't taste anything else, but hot. So I'm going to scoop a little bit more. A little bit more here. So basically I used about half a spoon, I guess this is what, tablespoon? Full spoon? I don't know. See how it's kind of looking orangish now? Looking pretty, isn't it? This is what the red curry looks like. It should be kind of an orange color like this. Okay. And that looked delicious looking. Still not done yet though. So what we're going to throw into it to make it even better, okay, we're going to add a little bit of fish sauce. So I'm going to open this up. How much do you put in? Well, the fish sauce is kind of like salt. I'm going to put in a little bit, just a couple little squirts, not too much. I think that's about enough right there. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to add my fish sauce. And now that we've added the fish sauce, we can stir this up a little bit more, mix it up really well. One more thing. And the ingredients are pretty much complete, and we just need to let it cook. I mean, it's already cooked. All we're doing is warming it all up. The heat is still on high. I'm going to get a little bit of sugar and put that in. Hang on just one moment. Okay, I cleaned the spoon by rinsing it off with water, and now I'm just going to take the sugar. I got like about 1 spoon of sugar. Probably don't need that much. I'm going to add the sugar here to make it a little bit sweet. So I had a spoon of sugar, not like overflowing. And I'm going to mix it up so that the sugar can flavor the curry sauce. Make sure it's all mixed up. Essentially, it's done now. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal it. Let me take a flavor here. Now, I'm doing this. Normally, I wouldn't stick my mouth in there and flavor it, even though a lot of chefs do that. But since this is just for me by myself, I'm going to go ahead and take a taste and see what it tastes like. And it tastes pretty good, but the thing is, it's not spicy enough for me. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the red curry, okay? So we're just going to scoop up some red curry here and add it. Pause this video here while I scoop some out. This is quite a bit more curry, and I'm going to go ahead and add that. Mix it up really well. I'm going to break it up because you don't want to have it taste sweet and then suddenly you hit the curry and it's like fire hot. So we're mixing that all up. It's a nice orange color. Looking good. Doesn't that look delicious looking? This should be enough for me for 2 days with the food here. And luckily I have a refrigerator where I can store it. Then I can just heat it up. If I have to, I can nuke it. Let me taste it and see what it tastes like now. It should be pretty spicy. Oh, so good. It was so good. I'm going to let it heat up. Basically, it's on high heat still. I'm going to seal it up and just let it sit for about another 10 minutes or so, 5 or 10 more minutes, and just let it boil up and get really hot. Then what you do is you get your rice, okay, and put that on your plate or bowl, and you scoop up some of the curry and you pour it on top, which I'll show you how it's served, okay? But this is like my favorite dish, one of my favorite dishes, and it is incredible. It takes a lot of time to cook compared to my other dishes and costs quite a bit more, obviously. But this is my first time trying to cook it in a rice cooker with, you know, with 2 pots here. So that's kind of interesting because normally I make this on a stove and it doesn't take this long, but it is this complicated. You have all these different ingredients. So next scene here when we come back should be the finished product and what it looks like. And I already know it's going to taste great. Oh my goodness, I love this stuff. Doesn't that look pretty? Wow. All right, the Thai red curry, pork red curry is pretty much done. I mean, it was already done. I was just heating it up. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug this guy here and let it start to cool down. But you can see I've scooped up my rice, and this is how typically I serve it. You can even eat this as a soup, okay? But I have my rice here, and I take the curry. Let me bring this closer here so I don't make a huge mess. And I just scoop up the curry with the meat and everything else. And just serve it right on top of the rice. Take some of the sauce here, pour it right on there. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit more here. This is what I'm scooping up. Sorry about that. Camera's having a hard time following it. But I just serve it right on top of the rice. Get up some more here with some more of the various vegetables and whatnot. Doesn't that look delicious looking? This is a dish that if you go to buy in a Thai restaurant, it's probably going to be about $12, $10 to $12 for a serving. It is an incredible dish. Doesn't that look so good? And then you just put it on here. It's nice and pretty. Get a little bit more sauce. Pour the sauce all over the rice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Thai red curry. Beautiful. I'm sure it tastes great. Bon appetit, everybody. I think I'm going to be mean to you guys and actually take a bite. Doesn't that look so good? Oh my goodness. Basically just scoop up the rice and the stuff with it and eat it. Oh my goodness, this stuff is so good. Truly good. Bon appetit, everyone.